What's up, y'all? It's your boy Steph, back with another reaction. This time we got 10 creepy photos with disturbing backstories. I said disturbing like that because it's in capital letters. And it's by Lazy Masquerade, so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay? Chilling photos and the stories behind them.
Number 1. The Gladbach hostage crisis. Her expression says it all. This was 18-year-old Silke Bischoff. She'd been taken hostage by two bank robbers, Dieter Degowski and Hans-Jürgen Rosner. The pair of gangsters were on the run from the cops and took a bus full of civilians hostage in Hackelriede, Germany. At the time this photo was taken, the duo had already executed a 15-year-old Italian hostage, and a police officer had died in a crash while pursuing them. Over time, most of the hostages on the bus were released. Only Silke and one other female hostage were left behind as bargaining chips. They were forced into a getaway car, and the robbers took them on a long journey into the Netherlands. The situation was handled extremely poorly by the police, and media outlets were even able to hold interviews with the two armed convicts, giving them not only exposure, but leverage as well. Authorities watched on as journalists brought the criminals cups of tea and coffee. Some reporters even helped to prolong the incident, guiding the abductors on their way, and handing them pictures of the police officers involved in the case.
What the
so
fuck?
that they wouldn't be tricked during a hostage exchange.
What kind of reporters are these? They should go to jail too.
One reporter even asked Silke, "What's it like to have a gun held to your neck?"
What the fuck, bro?
The ratings were through the roof. Near the end of the whole ordeal, a police cruiser rammed into the robbers' escape vehicle, rendering it immobile.
My man.
Rather than come out with their hands up, the gangsters decided to make their last stand.
Of course.
All guns blazing, with Silke still in the car. Silke was killed in the ensuing gunfight. The same can't be said of both the hostage takers. They survived.
Unfortunately.
With no more hostages left, they were forced to surrender. Rosner received a life sentence. Degowski got off light with 24
You
years.
should just kill both of them.
Since this all took place in 1988, he's a free man.
Fuck that. Every one of those reporters should
Number
have
2.
went to jail for
The collapse.
assisting
In 1976, photographer
criminals or whatever that
Stanley
is.
took this Pulitzer
Aiding
Prize
and
winning
abetting.
photograph. Entitled Fire on Marlborough Street, it captures the chilling moment that a fire escape collapsed in Boston, sending 19-year-old Diana Bryant and her 2-year-old goddaughter plummeting down 50 feet.
Damn.
Bryant didn't survive the fall. Her goddaughter, however, did, but only because she landed on top of Bryant's body.
Ooh.
This remarkable image went on to be awarded the title of World Press Image of the Year. As a result of the collapse, fire escape regulations were strengthened throughout the entirety of the United States.
I bet. They should have been strengthened before, but okay. People wait till shit
Number
happens.
3. The Anniversary Crasher. Joe Martinez was at his in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary, enjoying a night of festivities along with his wife, Patty. Unbeknownst to most of the other guests, Joe was battling a severe drug problem, one that he says was killing his soul. Still, Patty stood by her husband in spite of his addiction, hoping that one day Joe would see the light and finally get clean.
You'll probably see the
Little
light.
did they both realize that Joe would indeed see the light that evening, and it would come in the form of a camera flash. The couple posed together for this photo. At first glance, it's a fairly ordinary image, but something appeared alongside Joe, which wasn't there when they took the picture. A dog-like face leering over his shoulder.
What the fuck is that?
There were no dogs at the party, No animals of any kind.
What the
and
fuck
the creature
is that?
didn't appear in any other photographs taken that evening. Nobody at the event remembered seeing anything even remotely resembling it. By all accounts, it shouldn't be there.
Right. I got
the couple
goosebumps.
themselves truly believe that it's a demon. Believing that it was following him, Joe took this photo as a sign to finally kick his drug habit. There's good and evil in this life, said Mr. Martinez. There's the good on the right side of me, and there's the evil on the left. Joe now carries the photo with him wherever he goes.
Please
as a
stop
reminder
showing me that.
to keep himself clean.
That gave me goosebumps bad as hell, bro.
Number 4.
That was so
The
fucking
most sinister wink
creepy.
of all time. And that's what many people believe this is, at least. The photo was taken just after Linda...
I'm sorry, y'all. That's the picture. That was the picture that's in the thumbnail for his video, for Lazy Masquerade, for this video. Fuck, bro. I don't know what it is about that. God. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Real shit. Real talk. My bad. It's just, I don't know. That has to be one of the creepiest faces I have ever seen. If I can help it, that's gonna be the thumbnail. That's gonna be the thumbnail. My reaction to that picture. Fuck, bro. If I can get it, that's definitely gonna be the thumbnail. Fuck, man. It had to do something with his addiction. It was a sign. I just don't know where it came from or what it is, but it should not be there. Boy, I wish I would take a picture of myself or me with like friends or family or something, and I see that, bro, I'm going straight to a church. I'm going straight to church, bro. Help me. Cause that does not need to be. That does not need to be in that picture, around me, in my life, anything. Ooh, that fucked me up so bad. Y'all can skip ahead in the video. I just need to... y'all can go ahead and skip ahead. I think it's like 10-second intervals. Whenever you skip 10, then 20, then 30. Y'all can go ahead and skip like 10, maybe 10, 20 seconds. Oh. I'm sorry. I probably look and sound like a bitch right now, but that got me bad. I didn't think they was gonna zoom in all the way on it. I thought they was gonna like circle it, circle, when they circle things that they want you to see or what they really want you to pay attention to. Fuck. Okay, let's get going. We still got a long video to go.
B. Johnson had been sworn in as president on Air Force One. In the foreground, you can see a grieving Jackie Kennedy. Her husband, JFK, had just been assassinated. His blood and brains were still on her coat. There's obviously a somber atmosphere on board the jet, a sorrowful expression on every face. That is, with one exception. As Jackie mourned the death of her husband, LBJ turned to one of his longtime cronies, Texas Congressman Albert Thomas. He gives LBJ a secret wink and smile, not realizing that Cecil Stoughton, the White House photographer, was taking a picture of the scene. According to the man in charge of Air Force One at the time, President Johnson's behavior on the flight was, quote-unquote, obscene. This image is certainly something for conspiracy theorists to chew on.
Yeah?
Then again, there could be a much more innocent explanation for the wink. That doesn't explain LBJ's so-called obscene behavior during the flight, though. Even if things aren't as menacing as they appear, it's still disturbing to see such high-profile figures so pleased with themselves in the presence of a grieving widow.
Right.
And in the wake of their president's murder. The photographer himself said, "The wink could have been innocent or sinister, and I would lean towards the latter."
Right. That's politics for you. That's why I do not get
Number 5,
into any of that
the
shit.
Tinder date. People have mixed opinions about Tinder, but I think the majority of us agree that it's not the best place to go looking for long-lasting romance.
Hell no.
Still, millions of people use the app for hookups and dates all the time.
And a lot of them go missing.
Problem is, when you're interacting with someone through a screen for a while, it's easy to forget that the person you're talking to is still a complete stranger.
Right.
And agreeing to meet that stranger is, unfortunately,
dangerous.
Not completely risk-free. It was August of 2014, and Warina Wright, a New Zealander in her mid-20s, was in Australia for a friend's wedding. The Gold Coast was providing her with both sun and sea, but something was missing. She opened Tinder to secure the final S. She matched with a guy that she thought was cute, Gable Tosti, a self-proclaimed Gold Coast playboy.
Oh, wow.
The pair met up, and Warina agreed to go back to his apartment.
Oh, my God.
Alone.
The first day?
A decision that would cost her her life. This is the last image taken of Warina while she was still alive.
Why does she look like that?
Audio recordings found on Tosti's phone revealed that she was begging for him to let her go home. Tosti refused to let her leave, saying, "I would, but you've been a bad girl."
Oh, my God.
Later in the recordings, guttural choking sounds could be heard, as if Warina was being strangled.
Please don't play that.
At various other points, he threatens to knock her out and push her over the edge of his balcony on the 14th floor.
Ooh, shit.
Well, the exact events of that night remain unclear, but at some point during the early hours, Warina either fell or was thrown from the apartment's balcony. Her body was apparently folded over on itself. There were indeed red marks around her neck, indicative of strangulation. It was originally alleged that Warina was so scared of her date that she tried to climb down from the building to escape him.
And fell?
After she fell, Tosti called up his father and asked him, "Why does this keep happening to me?"
What? Fuck.
CCTV footage showed him walking around outside the apartment, eating a slice of Domino's pizza, only 5 minutes after Warina's death.
Why Domino's?
Tosti's legal team managed to convince the jury that he had locked Warina out on the balcony for his own safety.
You sound crazy as hell.
Her death was not Mr. Tosti's fault, since he had used reasonable force to subdue her after she became aggressive. The fact that she fell was her own fault.
Wow.
Ultimately, he was found not guilty of both murder and manslaughter.
That's bullshit.
Not satisfied with the result, the coroner reopened the case in 2016. And that's where things stand today.
What? If y'all noticed in that picture, the expression on her
Number
face
6.
was not
Chris
kosher.
Kremers and Lisanne Froome.
It was not okay.
In 2014, 2 young Dutch women disappeared on a hike in Panama. 10 weeks later, after an intensive search, some of their bone fragments were discovered, along with their phones and one of their cameras. On it were a series of photos chronicling the final days of Chris Kremers and Lee.
Hold on. I feel like the pictures that are about to come on screen are gonna creep me the fuck out. So I had to mentally prepare myself. You can again skip 10 seconds. Oh. Jeez. I feel good tonight. I don't know why I'm like this. I don't know. Pictures always get me. Pictures and shadow people always get me. I don't know why. Okay.
San Froome. Here are those images. Things start off as you'd expect, with the girls cheerfully posing for the camera at various points along the hiking route.
Yeah.
Lisanne continues to take pictures of Chris as they move deeper into the jungle.
Why are you moving deeper into the jungle?
Then, the pictures stop abruptly. 8 days later, about 90 photos were taken in the early hours of the morning.
Damn.
87 of them were apparently of near complete blackness. They still haven't been released to the public. Of the 3 that have been released, 1 was of this patch of earth. 1 was of this, potentially a marker that one of the girls had made. The final discernible image was a close-up of the back of Chris's head. Her temple appears to be bloody. Some think that they were using the camera's flash to signal for help. Others think that they were using it to light their way as they navigated through the wilderness, to make sure that they weren't walking in circles. In their weakened state, perhaps they were using the flash to scare off predators. At this point, they would have been starving, dehydrated, and completely
I keep telling y'all,
disoriented.
don't be going into these jungles.
After checking their call history, investigators learned that the girls had tried to make over 80 distress calls.
Damn.
It also became apparent that the girls were desperately trying to conserve their battery power. Lisanne's phone died on the 5th day in. Chris's phone was switched off for the last time at 11:56 p.m. on the 10th day. It's likely that Chris died on day 8, hence the bloody photo, and Lisanne took her phone in hopes of finding a signal. That would explain why, after day 8, the wrong pin was repeatedly entered into Chris's phone, and the device remained locked. The main theory at this point is that in the darkness, the girls somehow became separated. Chris fell, hit her head, and died as a result. Lisanne may have taken the rest of the pictures to mark the way back to Chris's body, hoping that the authorities may be able to use them to find her remains. Does it sound like I'm speculating a lot? Well, that's because I am. Nobody knows the exact fate of those girls during and after those 10 days. There are, of course, many theories flying around, and even some evidence that may suggest foul play. It's possible that a local guide with a history of inappropriate and aggressive behavior may have led the girls deep into the jungle. Then, when they fought off his advances, he may have left them stranded in the wilderness. Whatever the case, it's hard to imagine being lost in the jungle for 10 days straight. No food, no water, and no phone signal. These last dark images give us a sense of the desperation those girls must have felt. What a nightmarish scenario.
Those pictures weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be.
Number 7. Ruth Snyder.
Do not go into jungles.
This almost looks like a charcoal drawing.
I can't stress this enough.
In actuality, it's a photo taken way back in 1928, capturing the execution of Ruth Snyder. Thousands of volts of electricity were being pumped through her at the moment this picture was taken, making it the first photo to capture an American execution in progress. If you're wondering why her face looks so distorted, it's because there's a sack over her head. In a way, the graininess of the picture gives it a truly haunting, otherworldly quality.
It makes it more realistic.
When you realize that this is actually the picture of a woman during her last painful moments of existence. Well, it's unsettling, to say the least. Number 8. The Milo family portrait. Another trip back to the past now, this time to the hamlet of Milo, Vietnam. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the massacre that took place there in 1968. For those of you that skipped that history lesson, here are the cliff notes. During the Vietnam War, a company of US soldiers entered Son Mai village, rounded up as many as 504 unarmed civilians,
Damn.
men, women, children, and infants, and gunned them all down. As you can imagine, the incident prompted global outrage. One person present that day was Army photographer Ronald Haberly. In the midst of all the carnage that surrounded him, he snapped this picture. It shows a small group of terrified villagers, most probably a family, mere seconds before they were all killed. You'll notice that the teenager on the right is preoccupied with buttoning up her blouse while the rest of the victims huddle in fear. That's because some of the soldiers had just had their way with her. When the soldiers assaulting them noticed Haberly and his camera, they quickly stopped what they were doing. Haberly took his picture. Then, as he walked away, he heard the distinctive sound of an M60 going off. He turned to see what had just happened, and, out of the corner of his eye, he saw the group of villagers he had just taken a photo of collapsing to the ground. They were dead. Only one of the soldiers that took part in the massacre was convicted of any criminal offenses.
What?
He was originally sentenced to life, but ended up only serving 3.5 years under house arrest.
What? They bullshit.
Haberly's photo is not only a reminder of the extreme cost of war, but also the dark depths that humans are able to sink to.
This is depressing as hell. I prefer that they be
Number
scary than depressing.
Down the hill. This is the last picture taken of Abby Williams, captured by her friend, Libby German, in February of 2017. The pair of young teenagers were out on a hiking trail in Delphi, Indiana. Sadly, they were never to return home.
Indiana.
They were brutally murdered shortly after this picture of Abby was captured.
Oh.
And, despite over 26,000 tips, the police have yet to identify their killer.
26,000, damn.
Which brings me to the next entry in this list. Libby also took these two photos of an eerie figure following behind them on the trail. The police believe that this is the man who killed the girls. Question is, who is he? Libby not only managed to capture these images of her soon-to-be killer, but also took a short audio recording of his voice using her cell phone. In the audio, you can hear the man saying, "Down the hill." All of the evidence that Libby was able to secretly capture was quickly released to the public. Sadly, to no avail. Not only does the killer's name remain unknown, so does his motivation. One man was identified by the police as a person of interest, but it was later determined that he wasn't involved. If anyone can identify the man in the images, there's a $200,000 reward up for grabs.
Sheesh.
Number 10. A lovely day off.
Oh shit. The last one.
There's nothing better than a well-deserved day off work. That was as true back in the day as it is now, as can be seen in this set of black and white photos. These people are obviously enjoying their break, laughing and joking in their casual clothes. Things get a little darker when you see them in their uniforms. This photo album is entitled Laughing at Auschwitz. These smiling, happy people were SS officers, Nazi guards, and female staff members stationed at the death camp. While off duty, they bask in the glory of the surrounding countryside, eating blueberries, singing songs, and sunbathing together. Less than a mile away, people were suffering and dying at the world's most famous concentration camp. Browsing through these photos, it becomes clear just how normal and everyday the people carrying out these atrocities were. There are no pictures of monstrous acts being committed, no soulless eyes or hateful faces to be observed. These people, who killed others in their thousands, were just like us. And that's perhaps the scariest thing of all.
Boo! Why does...
Hey guys, Lizzie here, and thank you very much for listening. I know there are quite a few of these types of videos out on YouTube, so I've tried my best to use photographs that I don't think have been used by many other content creators, but inevitably some will slip through the cracks, and I don't think I'd seen many of these before in fairness, so hopefully you hadn't either. I actually found a bunch of really horrifying images that I don't think I could get past the censors on YouTube, put it that way. Might have been breaking a few terms and conditions. But anyway, that's the way it goes sometimes, huh? Let me know if you did enjoy this video by smashing that like button, and be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and all that jazz. Until the next time, Lazy Legion, you all stay spooky. And remember, the best things happen in the dark.
I don't know how his outro, you know, that creature or whatever that is, I don't understand how that shit got me. As many of his videos as I didn't watch. Maybe it's because I'm already thoroughly creeped out, and they kind of like, I mean, but still, I don't know. It didn't get me bad. I just kind of jumped a little bit. But, you know, maybe y'all feel the same way that I do. But sometimes when I watch these videos, I'd be like, in videos like this, when I'm so into the video, I'm so into the video, I'm so entranced into it. I'm so focused on it. It's like it'd be like, I don't know. It'd be like, I don't know how to put it. If this guy or this girl or whoever's video that I'm reacting to or watching, they have a video like this where it has all my attention, I'd be like, if they really wanted to do some foul, bogus, low-down shit, like right in the middle of them like explaining the picture, the video, or whatever they're talking about, the story or whatever it is that they're narrating on, if they really wanted to do some foul shit, they can, right in the middle of them talking, they could just like throw a fucking scary ass face or a scary picture or just a loud ass shriek or scream or yell or something, like right in the middle of while they're narrating, so it catches you completely off guard. Like you know what I mean? Like, if I'm like let's say I'm watching one of Lazy's videos, like this one, and y'all saw I was so into the video, I was so focused on it, and while I'm sitting here like this, while I'm sitting here, you know, listening, in the middle of him talking about a completely normal story, he just, or, you know, throws like a scary ass face or something on the screen, or, you know, something, and it just, dude, I would, honestly, I would probably flip over this bed if they did. If him, Mr. Nightmare, Phantom Librarian, fucking Creepypasta Jr., Creeps McPasta, Mr. Creepypasta, Corpse Husband, Unit 522, if any of them did that shit, I would be pissed, but I'd be scared as fuck, because I'm not expecting it. Excuse me, I'm listening to the story, I'm listening to the narration, and then you just got a fucking scream. You throw a screamer at me all of a sudden, diverting all of my attention away from the video. And I hope they never do that shit. I really hope, because that would fuck me up bad. But yo, that's it for this video, y'all. If you like my reaction, like the video, comment on the video, and share the video. And if you really liked it, Subscribe to my channel. Tap that bell icon so you will be notified every time I drop new content. I will leave a link in the description to Lazy Masquerade's channel, along with the link to this original video. And that is all that I got for y'all. This time around, your boy Steph is out.